my student loan was above $93,000 in 2014. And then in 2016, I was laying on the floor in my house in Yucca Valley, relaxing. I was in a good mood, and I answered the phone. Hello, Mr. Morris. This is the Fed Loan Servicing, and we need you to make a payment on your student loan. And I think, oh, it's in deferment, and I'll pay it later. We need you to make a payment or arrange a payment, or we will garnish your wages and take your income tax. At first, I was like, okay, sure. I thought she was like, you know how they usually do the usual threats. But no, sir, if we don't make any type of arrangement to get any type of payment from you, we will garnish your wages and take your income tax. And we went on back and forth for like 3 or 4 minutes. And then I was starting to think, you know what? I actually think they're serious this time. And then I said, okay, I'll pay it in a couple of months. Oh, we need you to make a payment right away. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, well, if not, we'll just take your income tax and garnish your wages. And finally, I started like, okay. I was like begging her, please don't do that, because I had lost a couple of duplexes to foreclosure, and I ran up about $14,000 on a line of credit debt with Bank of America. And also, I was in probate with my grandmother's house, paying a lawyer like $2,000 or $3,000 every couple of months to get her for a probate case. So I had like no money, and the only money I had was because of the house. You get sort of those deductions. So I was getting some deductions from my income tax. So the income tax I was going to use to like pay to help me keep some of these bills afloat, so I could at least eat. And then she was like, no, we need you to make a payment. And I was like, we were on the phone for about 15 minutes till finally I found out an arrangement that was good for them. And then ever since then, I've been paying on my student loan. So I've made it like, okay, I'm not going to let this happen again. I'm going to get this thing paid off. So I went and checked today, and as of today, I've gotten it down from 2014. We're up about the high 90s. Now we're down to $35,789. So now I'm getting ready for GrowthCon 4 with Grant Cardone, and he had like a little webinar where we talked about how to raise money. So now, between now and February 23rd, before I go to GrowthCon, I'm focusing on ways to raise money. And the only way I know to raise money is to sell something. I sell my services, sell a product for someone else, but it's got to be something with sales. So I've been working on like this is like expert secrets to work on my presentation skills. I've been studying Grant Cardone stuff on selling. I joined Cardone U. And this month I made about $1,000 in overtime. The previous month I brought in about $1,200 working the Breeders' Cup, and another $294. And then Friday I got a check for about $61.30 from the gas company for overpaid bills. So I've been finding ways to bring in money. And today is December 14th or December 15th. So I'm like, okay, I got to find more ways to raise money. So now I'm getting ready to go door to door. And I'm like, he talks about how I have to build an audience. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I want to know like he says, I can't make money. The only way for me to get money is to go talk to strangers. It's like same as dating. If you want to get sex, I got to go talk to a woman or a man. Same as money. If I want to get money, I go talk to somebody who has money. For me to understand things, I have to relate it to sex. Sex or porn or something. Then I switch it back over to business, because when I take a concept, I always relate it to relationships and dating. I don't know why. Maybe because I went out with one girl for 7 years, another one for like about 5 years. I lived with one. So I had 3 women I've lived with, and now I'm 52 and still single. And I just think of things in terms of relationships. Don't ask me why. It just helps me understand it quicker. But like he says, one thing I'm working on this week, I'm working on building my audience. So I want you guys to go back and watch my previous videos. And also what I'm also want to do is, like, if you have a business out there, and I'm going to go to GrowthCon. There's going to be Magic Johnson. He's a billionaire who owns like how many Starbucks? A bunch of Starbucks. And like I know most of the American small businesses have one company, maybe 2, and a majority of those are just barely making money. How much could you learn from Magic Johnson? What could you learn from his tenacity? What you can learn from a man who had AIDS and still here? You think you could take a concept and you're thinking, Martin, I've already done this 2,000 times, 2 or 3 times. We've taken courses and it hasn't really gotten us to our next level. That's true. But you know what? I had 6 diagnoses. You know what? I had a headache. I was having a headache back in 2014. I had a bad headache. No, 2000. I had back when I was going to grad school. I had a bad headache. Headache wouldn't go away. So I had a headache on the right side. And then I went to the optometrist. That was the first time the optometrist looked. I can't find anything. I was feeling well, a little bit better. Then the pain came back. It was here in my head. Then it kind of like started working its way down here to my lower eye. And then I went to the dentist because I thought, hey, I had some dental work done. Maybe it's like a molar or something. That was the second diagnosis. Then I just started feeling bad again after I went to the dentist and went to the optometrist, really getting to the solution. I went to the emergency room. So that was the third time. And then I said, we can't really find anything. And they gave me some type of Tylenol to kill the pain. Then the pain got worse. It was on the left side and the right side, the mouth. So then the fourth time I went back to the dentist again. Are you sure there's not something going on? I don't know. And then that's number 4. And then what happens? I wake up one morning, like the pain, I was like sleeping. I had a big bad headache. The pain had went away. And then I went to the restroom, turned on the mirror. Boom, this eye was like one of those horror movies. It was like coming out of the socket. It was like huge. And I was like, this is a bad dream. So I went back to go to bed. Woke up again. It was still big. I said, oh my God. And then on top of it coming out, I had a bad headache. And at first I was going to try to drive my Pathfinder to get to the hospital. And I just gave up. Came back, called a taxi, took the taxi to the emergency room. They isolated me because they didn't know what I had. They thought I had some type of disease or some type of foreign thing. And then that was my 5th diagnosis. They said, you must have some type of sinusitis thing. And what we're going to do is we think we're just going to cut off the eye and see if that stops the pain. Because you've had some bacteria build up in the back of the eye that's working your way toward the brain. So we believe if we take out your eye and do a type of surgery, then that may save you. It's just a possibility that it will save you because whatever it was, a sinus stuff built up behind the brain, and it was like built up behind the eye. And if it contacts the brain, then it starts killing the brain cells, and basically you die. Game over. So that's my 5th diagnosis. So the 5th diagnosis, we're just going to cut off the eye and see if that saves it. And then finally, I had okay, that's an interesting option. Even if you cut it out, I still may die. That's not cool. And then I got the 6th diagnosis. This one doctor, I kind of know what that is. And if what I think it is we can do a surgery where we can go through the chest, come here, come all the way up there, come through the eye, drain out the whatever, drain it out, save the eye, and also take the poison out to save you. The only problem with this surgery was we got to be careful as we come through the artery up the heart. If we hit something to the vein, you may bleed out. That was option number 6, and that was the best option because that option got the poison from the brain out, which would have gave me brain poisoning. Also, it saved me from having my eye cut out. So that was 6 diagnoses. It took the 6 diagnoses to get the right solution. Otherwise, I would not have an eye, and I'd also be dead. So for those of you who said, oh, we don't want to get redone 2 or 3 times, that's great because that means you're still in business while others who haven't done anything else, they're out of business. And this could be the solution that could take you over the top like me. So think about it. 6 times. Took 6 diagnoses. Though I was in pain during all those times, I didn't give up. I was working towards solution to get rid of the pain. And then I talked to the doctor, and he had one solution for me. Solution number 5. We're just going to cut it out, see if that takes the poison. Kind of solves the problem, but I look like Snake Plissken of New York, Escape from New York. Option number 6. A little bit dangerous, but the best option. So just think about it. Sometimes you have to go 4, 5, 6 times to actually get to where you want. And until you get there, it's just a way to test you. Because that means as you use these different solutions, that means what? Your business is still alive. You have money. You have access to money. So Why don't you have me come give you a recap of Magic Johnson? And I'll charge you $255. That's just for Magic Johnson. Now, if you want to get the information from Grant Cardone, the keynote speaker, you know, he charges $25,000, and I'm only going to charge you $2,500. $2,500 to give you a recap of some of the important things Grant said that can help you with your business. And then I'll throw in Magic Johnson for $500. So we're talking about $3,000 for 1 week. We're going to sit down, take some of the information that I learned from Grant and Magic Johnson, apply it to your business. There's only going to be 12,000 people at this event. And you know how many businesses, small business? Millions that are losing money. And we're heading into 2020. And there's going to be impeachment proceedings. And what do you think is going to happen with those impeachment proceedings? Companies that are getting tax cuts from Trump, what are they going to do? They're going to cut. They're going to cut, man. They're not going to spend their money. They say, oh, we done lost our boy who's helping us with some business. And some of those people that are cut are some of those businesses that are paying you money. What are you doing to prepare for a bad outcome? So remember, for those of you who said 2 or 3 times, we still haven't gotten, took me 6 times. I could be dead or missing an eye. So something for you to think about. You may have to just go more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times to get what you want. Email me, martching2018@gmail.com, martching2018@gmail.com. Come on, man. I'm going 21st to 22nd and get what I'm going to learn at GrowthCon. $3,000 for the keynote speaker and Magic Johnson. You don't think that can help your business? If not, then your business. If you don't think Magic Johnson and listening to a guy who's a billionaire, taking some of the advice, can help your business, then you're smarter than me. Maybe you're already a billionaire, but hey, you know what? Back in July 2008, 2010, that Great Recession, we had a lot of multi-billion-dollar companies that were billionaires, but they ain't in existence anymore. And you know what the major job that's been created now? Fulfillment centers. That's for the people who don't have the skills to keep their businesses going. Do you want to work in a fulfillment center at 55 years old? Come on, man. Get what I need. Give your business a jump start in 2020. Email me, martching2018@gmail.com.